Well, this is the Colecovision with um, Raspberry Pi 2 or B plus side here that we're going to be using for running the emulator. I've connected these two joysticks or cut-off joysticks to the remnants of the board that connect to the joystick. So these just go straight through to these connectors, then through these intelligent USB adapters. Some chappers are created in Canada. Got two of them, one for each side. One issue was I had to make sure that these were separated so they didn't clash on the 5 volts and the ground. They had to be completely separate. Removed all the connectors, everything that was on the board, resistors and everything. Just the reset button that goes through and onto the sort of Raspberry Pi's reset in there, and the power button goes through to a USB on-off switch. Now, these switches aren't up to much these days. They aren't up to the current, I don't think, and also they tend to a bit erratic with failing. So this overrides that. So even when you put power in, it just turns straight on. I use these T connectors to sort of keep space around the cartridge port. Although the cartridge port doesn't do anything, it can you can still plug a cartridge in for looks, as that main connector, expansion connector, doesn't do anything. I could probably do something with it if I wanted. This space is where the modulator would normally be sitting, and that's just for storing excess cables that go round to a USB port on the back, which where the power socket would normally be, and the composite input for connecting to the TV. These ports should work. They're set up, both of these intelligent sort of joystick adapters are set up via the computer already, so they work with Colecovision sort of controllers. One problem with these controllers is because they're slightly multiplexed. The keypad is multiplexed, so although you can press the fire button and one of these together, you can't press multiple buttons on the keypad. I didn't realise that. So it really does need both working if you want to press a key on here and a key on the other one at the same time for sort of resetting and things like that, or getting out of a game. I think that's about it. One hack which I regret I did was it was nice to have this USB socket sort of sitting in the power socket, which fits just right, but it goes too far back. So at the moment, this big gouge in the case where it sort of overlaps into the case. There's just no space. I'm going to cut this little case here, little box, and that will sit and cover up that sort of hack that's there. Otherwise, I'm going to tidy up that with a new cover for the power. That's HDMI out, and that's composite and sound out. Same as a Commodore 64 or VIC-20 or VIC-20 cable, which has got plenty of those cables about, as I said before. And then there's a USB for external devices. That's about all the device, really. It's just a matter of squeezing these cables in. Although it looks messy, it's about as sort of squeezed in as I can make it to fit everything into the space available. It's only this top one that seems to wander about a bit, which I don't know so much I can do with that, although it would probably still fit in like that. That's about it. So now I've got to just put the SD card in the thing. There's one thing I am getting is an extension from the SD here, so I'm going to have an outside place to put SDs just to make it easier for access, but that's still on its way from China. That's about it. It should look pretty sort of standard once it's all put together.